Hey, I hope you're doing well. So, today I want to talk about the two most important people to make very proud. And I came across this question somewhere online. Somebody was being asked who are the two most important people to make proud. And the answers, I saw people commenting and even sharing their answers. It's very interesting when somebody asks you that question, who are the two most important people for you to make proud? You will have a list. You will have to think about some people. Sometimes you will think about your parents if they are alive, if you're lucky that both of them are alive, your father or your mother. You might think of your children. If you're lucky to have two children, you might think about them. If you have brothers and sisters that you really love so much and care for, you might think about them too. Or a guardian, someone who has been taking care of you, raising you, and maybe just a spouse, if you're lucky to be so close and deeply in love with that specific person. So, my question to you as you're watching and listening to me, who are the two most important proud people? Who are the two most important people that you want to make proud in your life? And as you think about that question, I want you to figure out some of the things that have happened to your life in the past 20 years, or even 15. Let me make it 15. 15 years. How was your life 15 years ago? What were you doing? Where were you? What were your dreams? What were your goals? What used to make you happy? Who were your friends? How did you used to spend your free time? How was your love life? How was your health? How was your life generally 15 years ago? Of course, you know the answers. You know where you are. You know what used to make you happy. You know how you used to live your life. You know how healthy you are. You know how strong and maybe even happier compared to where you are at the moment. The same way, I want to ask you this. In the next 15 or 20 years, where do you see your life? How will you be living? Where will you be staying? Will you be more healthy? Will you be happier? Will you have achieved some of the things that you wanted to achieve as a man or as a woman? The next 15 years. It's not bad to think about your future because if you're lucky enough to be alive in the next 15 years, then you're going to be somewhere. Maybe you're going to be in the same location, doing the same things, repeating the same mistakes, or being together with the same person or the same people who have been bringing you down. The reason why I'm bringing these two versions, 15 years ago and 15 years later in your life, is to share with you this topic here today about the two most important people to make them proud. As you follow me on social media and listen to some of the videos, this is just a reminder. All of us, we had dreams. Even me, when I was young at the age of 10, I had amazing dreams about my future, about what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be, and all the things that I wanted to do, even though I was 10 years old. Maybe it was the same for you, but things changed. You know, the things you dreamt or wanted to do or where you wanted to be, probably you're not there. I never used to think I could be a teacher, but I ended up becoming a teacher. And I was a teacher for the last 15 years, even though I resigned. I never wanted to be a teacher. And I remember one day during my graduation in high school, one of the teachers stood up, and when he was giving his speech, I think by that time he was 40 years old, and he said and looked at us, all the graduates in front of us and the fellow teachers, and said the same thing that I'm saying here today. It took me 15 years to accept that I was a teacher, and I don't think I can continue to being a teacher. Maybe he was regretting. Maybe he wasn't proud of himself. Maybe he wasn't proud of his work or his job and his life where he had been or where he had reached. People say life begins at 40. But those are so many years ago, and I still remember that teacher. I even remember how he used to look like and those words more than 20 years ago. The younger version of you is the first person to begin making proud. Time to time, I do videos talking about self love, happiness, pride, things that can inspire you to do what you wanted to do, irrespective of having another person in your life or even having someone in your life. That younger version needs to be proud again. You may have made mistakes, just like all of us, we always make mistakes. You will plan life, but life will plan you. You will think that you're making the right choices, but you meet some people who ruin up everything that you wanted to have. Even to make it worse, you might meet a spouse or a partner who you thought the things will straighten up, and maybe by you being together with him or her, you'll be very proud about of your life. Or even maybe you thought that meeting someone was going to progress you to where you wanted to be, to reach the dream of how young you are when you are young, and you thought that if you met someone, that person will help you, but it never happened. Maybe you're watching me and you're listening to me right now, and I'm describing your life. There are people who have made you to forget the younger version of you. You are living in people's dreams. You are living in people's lives. People are controlling and managing your life. You don't want to be free. You don't want to enjoy life. You think about what they will say. You're so worried about people on social media, people where you work, people around you, even your own family members. You're so worried of them, and you don't want to live your life the way you want to live. If you have a child who is under the age of 10, those beautiful angels, they're amazing. They live in a free world. They don't know about social media. They don't know about taxes, debts, loans. They don't even know about wars if they are in war-torn countries. I'm sorry for them. That's why you hear when there are wars, the mothers and the children suffer the most, even the men who are trying to defend or protect them. People don't talk about them. But those children, their life is full of innocence. They have dreams. When you ask them that question, what do you want to be when you grow up? They have all those amazing answers. Playing outside, playing video games, living life without being worried on what to eat, where to sleep, where to go, and what to do. Their life is beautiful. A life that so many adults, including you listening to me and watching me, wish you could go there. Full of freedom, that you don't care or get worried about the future. You're just enjoying life because you're 10 years old. And this is the life that I've learned over my few years that I've been alive up to now. It's important to make that young version of yourself very proud. It's important to gift yourself. It's important to rest enough. It's important to try to reduce the stress in your life, to do away with toxic people, toxic relationship. It's important to begin choosing a much more peaceful life. The video which I did yesterday, finding your own inner peace. Others said on the comments, getting inner peace is very difficult. And when you listen to their stories, most of them, if not all of them, the younger version of their lives, they have forgotten about it. They are focusing on making another person's life better, another person's life happier. Their job and their life and everything that they are doing, they have dedicated it to making other people proud, and they have forgotten themselves. Don't be one of them. So this leaves me with the last part of this video. Who is the other second most important person to make very proud? Obviously, it's the older version of your life. When you listen to so many interviews, interviewers like asking the question, what are your regrets? What do you regret in life? Maybe you're watching me, you're 20s or 30s or 40s or even 50s or even 60s if you're on Facebook. And maybe you're watching this video and listening to me right now. The same question I ask you, what are your biggest regrets? But imagine if you are 65 and above and somebody asked you that question, what will be your answer? I normally see people ask those questions, especially the celebrities. Most of them avoid the question, and most of them say they have no regrets in life. Maybe they mean it, maybe they don't mean it. Your future version, 20 years from now, must be very proud of your choices. You must be able to say, hey, I made mistakes. I have very few regrets, but I'm very proud of walking away from a toxic life, a toxic partner. I'm very proud that I decided to remain healthy. I decided to protect my life, my health, my future. I did away with some of the drugs that I was getting into. I decided to reduce the circle of my friends, the ones who always betrayed me, the ones who sucked blood from me, the ones who used me. I grew up and I decided to focus on more important people. Maybe 20 years from now, the best version of you to be proud of, if you're a family man or a family woman, you should be very proud of being there for your partner, being there for your spouse, being there for your children. But even though these are what you have to do, it's like a must, it's your responsibility. You have to be proud of yourself. When you get older, you need to be proud that you made better choices. You don't have to live. There are many old people over the age of 60, and if you're lucky to know some of them in your family, who are living in a life full of regrets. Sometimes I know they wish they could have died because they made so many mistakes. They had better chances. They had enough chances to redeem themselves, to wake up and stop blaming people, stop blaming the government, stop blaming your tribe, stop blaming your great great grandfathers or your ancestors. If they woke up and realized that they made mistakes, change their habits, change the way they treat people. And by people, I mean the so important close people. When you listen to a story of an old man who abused and never took care of his partner or spouse when he was young at your age, but now he's over 60, realizing that there is no any other person, including his own children, to be there for him. He is abandoned deep down there in your village, alone, thinking about nothing but death. When will I die? Should I commit suicide? Am I really successful? Is my family okay? What do people say? When I compare myself to my fellow brothers, my age mates, over the age of 60, what did I achieve with all these things? Am I proud of my life? And I don't want you to go through the same path where 50 years, 40 years, 30 years from now, it will be a life full of regrets because you never learned from your mistakes. You never did. You went on with life. You went on thinking that life will be the same the way you are, the way you are enjoying and making more mistakes. But it's good to predict your life. And the best way to predict your future is by looking at your lifestyle right now. Let me repeat that before I go. The best way to predict your future right now is by looking at your lifestyle. What you eat, what you drink, how you treat very important close people, and how you treat even strangers or people who are under you or the less fortunate. That's the easiest way to predict how your future will be. And I hope this video reminds you to begin making yourself proud. Don't forget you. Only you can make yourself proud. And if you like this video, please do me that favor. Share this video in your timeline. Tag a friend on the comments. Let this message reach your younger brother or sister. And thank you for watching. From me, Benjamin, I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching, and thank you for the comments. God bless, and I love you.